What is up, guys, and welcome to another PvP video, another PvP guide. Mine's is called Teach Me PvP because he's obviously teaching me PvP, and yours is called PvP for Dummies.
PvP for Dummies. This part, I want to say to you guys just before we get started here, this is sort of the last in the first few videos that I really wanted to get out there, establishing a lot of the basics and core elements of PvP that sort of exist around actually being in the arenas and fighting all the time. So this,
Before we get to the action.
yeah, so this will be sort of the last one we're around in Heart of the Mist, but I think it's really important because I'm going to be teaching you about the PvP crafting and how exactly the rewards are structured. Because like I've done a very brief overview with Matt just before we filmed, and like it was totally new to you, right?
Yeah, it was definitely new. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know like what I knew it was level 80, right? Just like in PvE, but I didn't know what you actually got from it and what rewards you got, and how to get more armor. I mean, I say it lots in my video, like, oh, I have newbie armor, how do I get more armor? And I never knew about the crafting and using the Mystic Forge in PvP. It just seems weird.
So that's a big thing, a big feature that we're going to be talking to you guys about. Basically, there is a whole PvP crafting side of this game. It's all done with the Mystic Forge. We'll get to it in time, but first of all, we clarified this very briefly at the start. Let's do it again. What are ranks and what's the point of them?
Right, so there are 80 ranks, right? And every 10 ranks, you get a different animal. Right now, I am a rabbit.
Yes.
I am a rabbit.
So, yeah, and you gain ranks, so you can type /rank to see what animal you are. So, Matt, there's a rabbit. I'm a tiger. I'm almost a bear because I'm almost rank 50, and it changes after every 10 ranks. But basically, this is how you level up in PvP, sort of. You know, it's all purely for cosmetic stuff. It doesn't really matter that much if all you care about is just being there in the arenas. And as such, it's incredibly grindy. It gets really, really difficult to rank up. So grindy, in fact, that no one is even rank 80 yet. No one is rank 80 in the entire game.
That was like back in the days, in RuneScape days, right? Where like no one...
It's super grindy, and I quite enjoy it. You know, I really do. I like that there's this incredibly long-term goal for people to go for. There are some very minor tangible rewards. About the only one that's tied to rank is when I hit rank 50, I'll be able to get completely free 20-slot bags for every single one of my characters once I hit rank 50. And, yeah. That'll be quite cool. And the way I'll do that is I'll be able to actually speak to this rank 50 glory vendor here. Right now, she just fobs me off and says, come back when you're rank 50, then I can sell you my goods. So the way a lot of the rewards are tiered in PvP is you keep playing, and as you play, you earn rank points and glory, which slowly level you up, and it gets slower and slower and slower. Like, if you hover over your bar at the bottom, how many rank points does it take you to rank up right now?
It takes me probably like another 700-ish. Around there.
700 rank point. How many is it in total? How many is it in total?
In total is 1.5k.
He needs 1,500 for an entire rank. I need 75,000 for a single rank. That's how much it starts to scale up when you get quite far into the PvP stuff. And it like over doubles, I think, or it's exactly doubles when I will hit rank 59. Like, it's crazy. And that's why we don't have any rank 80s yet, but I think that's really good. The animals themselves get cooler as well. Like, Matt starts off as a rabbit, then you become a deer, then it's a dolyak. I'm a tiger, it will go bear after that, shark, and then phoenix, and finally dragon. If you ever hit rank 80, you become a dragon, and you get...
wow.
You get a really cool dragon emote, and also you unlock finishers as well. Should we actually have a quick look at this, right?
Yeah, for sure. How big is the dragon, though?
I don't know.
Is it as big as the one that was in the Dragon Bash? Like the Shatterer just comes out.
That would be amazing. Basically, every 10 ranks, when you get these new animals, this is a new update that's got in. You can unlock permanent finishers, which is actually really cool. So I bought a couple of the cash shop ones here just because I've got a bit of a completionist mentality. But across the top here, you see you've got a basic finisher that everyone gets, but you can also use a rabbit finisher. But you press H and look at underneath the achievements on your hero panel in case you haven't.
Yeah, I'm there already.
Yeah. So you've got rabbit, you've got deer, dolyak, wolf, tiger. Those are the ones that I've got unlocked. I'm almost going to get bear, and every 10 ranks, as you can see, you can unlock these permanent finishers. Finally ending with dragon. I think some people have data mined dragon, but like it's got no context around it. You don't know how big it is. But anyway, that's kind of how that works, and you can type /rank at any point to sort of display to the world, and you can use that in PvE as well. And that's one cool thing, but the main point of ranking up and getting these new 10 ranks, when you become a new animal, you unlock these new vendors that allow you to get new and cool gear. So do you want some new gear? Shall we make you some gear?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so
nothing.
You've got nothing. So to do that, we're gonna go to the vendors that are for ranks below rank 50. These are like the super high end guys. We don't need these people. Oh, and the rank 80 guys like on the stairs up there. We don't need those guys though. So let's waypoint back.
All right. So when you load in, I guess this is where you load in from Lion's Arch or anywhere that you take the portal. You go over here to the left hand side, and you're gonna see the first, I guess, five vendors. Right now, I'm rank 7, so I only get to talk to this guy. You know, level 20 girl don't want to talk to me right now. It's okay. It's all good.
So it's really cool. As you rank up, when Matt gets to rank 10, he gets to speak to this next vendor, and then you keep climbing up and up and up. I sort of wish all the vendors were just here together, so you just have like some massive stairway to heaven. I think that'd be awesome. So like I'm at the top right now, but after this, I'll have to go to those other guys. But yeah, so each of these vendors sells different stuff, right? And I kind of gave you a very brief little overview of it. Do you want to like show us what sort of the chests do?
Right. So each vendor, or I guess each animal that you get, right? Each 10 levels, you're gonna have about 3 to 4 different armor sets that you can have, which is gonna be a common,
and
uncommon,
weapons.
and a rare, and weapons as well. Hold up. Do weapons have common, uncommon, and rare as well?
Yes, weapons have rarity as well.
So there'll be 3 to 4 axes as well, and great swords.
Yeah. It's not completely defined. Like ArenaNet did it a bit weirdly, but basically, while you're a rabbit, there's going to be 3 or 4 sets of armor you can go for, or maybe as low as 2 sets of armor you can go for in some cases. Then when you become a deer, there's going to be 3 or 4 different sets of armor you can go for, and then when you become a dolyak, there's going to be a bunch of different sets. And the way they determine how those sets are different from one another is one's going to be really common, one's going to be uncommon, and one's going to be rare. And if you don't want to like, the main way you'll be getting those is by buying these chests, yeah? So you've got a copper chest, a silver chest, and a gold chest. They cost different amounts of glory, glory being the currency you earn at the same time as rank points, which are ranking you up.
And press I. If you want to see your glory, we have this new wallet now, this new awesome wallet, so you can actually see how much glory you have. So that's good. I have like 7K right now. How much do you have, by the way?
Okay, this is going to sound like a lot. I don't actually have that much for my rank because I spend a lot of time on my locker. I've got 463,195.
Oh my god! Are you kidding
it's not that
me?
much though.
All right, how much do the chests cost for a level 40?
The same. This is the thing. The prices don't get... Glory's sort of really imbalanced because there's nothing to spend it on. Like, there really is very little to spend it on. A lot of people think ArenaNet should add, like, a weapon set that costs, like, 1 million glory or something stupid to get one skin from. And, that sounds outrageous, but at the same time, I sort of think that might be a good idea because then people would care about using, like, glory boosters. Now, glory boosters will increase the glory you get, the PvP money, but it won't actually increase rank points, so don't expect yourself to rank up faster from using those. It will just increase your glory. But yeah, I mean, there needs to be a proper glory sync. That's why I sort of feel like some of this might get revamped. But anyway, yeah, as you play, you get glory, which you can spend at the vendors.
Sorry, and you were saying that you get bags. So now I see in rank 1 vendor, I actually have bags here. So you're saying that those bags get bigger and bigger as you go up the ranks, and eventually you'll get to level 20. Because level 20 bags are very expensive in PvE.
Yeah.
So this is actually benefit your PvE character, which is pretty great.
So this person sells me a 10-slot bag, which unfortunately you can't see on your footage, but it is a 10-slot bag, I promise you. This person sells a 12-slot. The next person's 14, 16, and then 18 is at the very top here. And I'm assuming at rank 50 over at that other vendor, I'll finally have 20-slot bags. And because you get so much glory from PvP, and it only costs 500 to buy one of these bags, it's basically free. You basically get full 20-slot bags for every single character on your account for free, essentially, which is really cool, I think. That's one perk of playing it. But the other difference between each of these vendors is because each vendor represents a different animal, you actually get different chests. So let's just stick with the rabbit stuff for now, but you can see we got a copper, a silver, and a gold rabbit chest. Do you want to just buy some of those?
Yep, now, I bought some copper because I'm cheap. So I'm cheap, and I'm going to open that up right now. And I actually got a glory booster this time.
So yeah, you can pop that. Now, okay, so we should say the primary way ArenaNet, I guess, want you to get these skins is just to be rolling for them with these chests. If you want the rare skins, then buy lots of gold chests. If you want if you want to be a bit more frugal, then maybe buy a ton of rabbit chests, copper chests. Because if you think about it, you can buy what 5 copper chests for the price of just 1 gold one. So you've got a pretty good chance of getting a rare item anyway if you just spam the crap out of copper stuff, right?
And if you get some duplicates, which probably you will because you only get one slot in your collectibles, you can deposit the collectibles, and whatever you have left, you're like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I have so many of these harpoon guns right now, so I need to actually do something with them.
And that's when the crafting comes in.
Yes.
Exactly. Let's actually show people where it gets deposited to as well, though, shall we? So if you get a skin, if you buy one of those chests and you get a skin in PvP that you decide you don't want to use right now, or it's light armor class, but you're playing a heavy armor dude, you can go deposit collectibles just like with crafting mats in PvE, and it will put them in these places here, the PvP lockers, which you actually already knew about before we started this series, yeah?
Right, because in PvE, when stuff is added in PvE, you can actually see them in the PvP locker and kind of
early, yeah. So, like, this Mask of the Crown was added for the Queen's Jubilee recently, and I can, even without owning that, I can right-click preview it, and I can see what it looks like on my character. So this is useful for PvE, guys. Not every single skin in the game is in these lockers, and at the really high ranks in PvP too, there's a lot of skins out there that will drop. The devs have confirmed that there are high-rank PvP skins that will drop that don't have slots in the locker just yet. Like in PvE, the Mystic Forge stuff, like the mist weapons, the big purple glowy stuff, like the anomaly, the focus, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That is actually in PvP apparently, but it's just not listed here in the locker.
But you said something about the final rest as well.
Yeah, and alternatively, all those super rare skins in PvE that nobody really knows how to get, of which there are quite a few, you can actually easily get in PvP. For example, if I look at my shields here, shields, there we go. There's this shield in my collection called PvP Dark Moon Shield, which I don't know whether you'll be able to find too easily. But I can preview this, and I own this in PvP, and it's a reasonably cool shield, but the main thing about it is it's got this weird smoke trail effect. Nobody knows how to get this in PvE at all, but you can come to the locker to preview it, and you can get it in PvP, which is kind of cool. And there's a really nice longbow as well called Dwayna's longbow, which like people just geek the crap out over, and they really want in PvP, but in PvE, but they just can't get it. So yeah, I mean the locker's pretty interesting, but it will only store one of every item, right? So there's going to be a point where you get duplicates. If everybody looks at my light armor section, for example, or a particular section you might have kind of full on yours. I've got loads of skins here that I'm not using, but I might want to in the future. But I'm going to get a duplicate of these at some point. If I keep buying the same chests, I'm going to get more than one. So you can actually participate in PvP crafting to break those items down and make specific stuff that you want. So shall we make you something? And
Yes. So I did salvage some of the stuff I had extra, and I got some arcane powder, some orbs, and of course some rabbit tokens.
Okay.
Now, you said that powders are for every single like Mystic Forge thing you're gonna do to craft something, right?
Exactly. Every single PvP recipe requires dust. Absolutely requires this mystic powder, right? And you'll get this powder or this arcane powder. You get the powder from tons of stuff, so it's not hard to find at all. But all the recipes require arcane powder. And by the way, as well, there's another recipe you can do where you can take PvP stuff and craft it into dye, and then you can sell that dye. So like I've got a lot of glory. I can potentially convert that directly into dyes and like roll for abyss dye and then sell it in PvE. So that's another thing you can.
Hold on, what?
Yeah, you can craft dyes with PvP stuff. Because PvPers, if you're purely a PvPer, you're going to want dye. You're going to want bigger bags.
Definitely.
And this stuff can just translate across because they don't make it soulbound. So that's one interesting thing you can do. I'm not going to go into that for this video. It'll go out of the scope and we'll be on it for hours and hours and hours. But we'll show everyone how to do a basic thing. So this first item in your salvage materials section of the locker, arcane powder, used for everything. Right, now what are the next three?
So we have arcane orb, arcane crystal, and arcane sliver.
Yeah, these three items will determine rarity. So do you know how we said earlier that if you're a rabbit, you've got like 3 different armor sets available to you. One of them's going to be common, one's going to be uncommon, and one's going to be rare. Now, if you want to craft a specific item, you need to throw either an orb, a crystal, or a sliver into the recipe in the Mystic Forge to determine the rarity of it, right? So orbs are really common. People will be able to see on my screen here, I've got a stack of them. That's because they're really common. The second most common are crystals. I've got 64 of those, and the most rare of them are slivers, which I've got 53 of, right? So you've got some orbs, right? Do you have any crystals or slivers? I doubt it.
No, I don't.
Okay, so what we'll do, that's fine, we'll make you look stylish anyway. We'll make you a rabbit level common item. Okay, so get yourself some arcane powder, get some orbs, which means that this is going to be a common item. And now we also need to decide which bit of equipment you actually want. Do you want a headpiece? Do you want some leggings? Do you want a chest? What do you want to go for?
All right, so I'm gonna go for some shoulders. So I'm gonna pick the heavy shoulders token right here.
Yeah,
Get that.
I see you already there. So that everybody knows as well from my screen, over at these vendors, there's actually another tab too, and these are the item tokens. Now you will pick one of these specific tokens to determine exactly what item you want. If I want the rabbit light helm, then I'll buy that light helm token from this guy. I'll go to my locker. I'll get some dust out because dust is needed for every single recipe. I'll get an orb out because I want it to be a actually no, I'm gonna do you over, right? I'm gonna make a rare rabbit. Okay, so I'm gonna take a sliver out. I'm gonna take an arcane powder out. I've got a light helm token here, and the last item is gonna determine whether it's rabbit or whether it's an animal hire. When you get to rank 10, you'll be able to speak to that other NPC who's given you deer chests, and by salvaging deer stuff, you can get deer tokens. So everyone can see here in my locker, there's rabbit tokens, there are deer tokens, Doliac, wolf, tiger, and when I reach bear soon, I'll be able to use the bear stuff and so on. So I'm gonna get myself a rabbit one. So now we have all of the items we need. This might seem slightly complicated, guys, but when you see it in practice, it will work really well. And all of this is, as we said, this is all done in the Mystic Forge. So there's no, like... It's actually way less complicated, I think, than the crafting in PV, you know, a proper crafting discipline. There's no PvP discipline or anything. It's just all Mystic Forge stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty much simple, pretty much. And, you know, no one could get confused out of this after a while. You get used to it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to open up the Mystic Forge. And I'll let you throw this stuff in. What are you going to put in?
I'm going to put my, of course, my powder, which is for everything. Then I'll put my orb for the rarity. And then I put in my rabbit for the type of token, I guess the type of the rank as well.
Yep.
And then I'm going to put in my shoulders, which will tell me, you know, if I want shoulders, pants, whatever. You put it in there. And then I'm going to forge to combine a worn chain shoulders. Yeah, that's great.
And I did, and you're gonna hate me for this. I did the same, but with a sliver instead of an orb, and I got the rare version, which I can ping to you here. There you go. So that's the rare.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's the rare heavy armor, which I just crafted for myself. So that's basically the idea, guys. You can continue buying these chests. You also get given the chest for free every time you rank up. So Matt's rank 7 right now. When he reaches rank 8, he'll get a chest for free, and he can open that up. Or you can spend your glory to buy them over at the vendors. And what you'll find eventually is you just buy loads of these chests, you keep depositing collectibles, and salvage away all the duplicates you've got. And then your locker's going to look something like what mine does, where you've got just a patchwork of items that are just sort of all over the place. So my heavy armor section is sort of like, oh, I've got this, but there's gaps. So I've got nearly a full set here of banded stuff, but I'm missing the banded legs. So if I wanted, I could then go and find out, right, what rank is banded. Okay, banded is Doliac stuff, so I'll go get a Doliac token. Then I will get a PvP heavy leggings token, so I know that it's going to be the Doliac legs. Then I'll get the rarity, the orb, the sliver, or the crystal, and figure out which of those it is. Throw it in there with some dust, and I can combine all these duplicates, essentially. I can salvage my duplicates down to get a specific item which will finish my set here. And by doing that through quite a long process, honestly, you can eventually really fill up your locker in a nice way, like you can see here on mine. These ones that I'm missing are because they're sort of out of order. Like, I won't be able to get Ascalon clergy stuff until I'm rank 50, despite the fact I've got stuff lower down. So that's kind of one big side of the rewards. There's another section, though, too. Do you remember what we talked about very briefly with the tournament rewards?
Yes. Okay, so there's a certain amount of sets of armor that you can actually get only through tournaments.
Yes, there's exclusive tournament rewards, or arena reward. That patch that added the finishers, guys, has also made solo queue a real thing, and team queue. So that now it's solo arena and team arena, and they're on randomly rotating maps, which is very cool. And they've got their own leaderboards. But by playing in these, you get unique gear, yeah? Right,
exactly. And are they different chests, or all the, like, you can get like a good rare armor from that same chest? Because it's different between ranks, is what I'm saying.
No. So by the rewards you get from tournaments exist completely outside of the ranks that we were just talking about. So you don't even have access to the second vendor. But if you get in a good tournament team and you know what you're doing and you win some tournaments, you'll get tournament chests as a reward. You guys should be able to see in my inventory I've got buttloads of these. These are match win reward chests. You can double click these and these will just give you gear straight up and potentially very cool looking gear. Orion gear. Originally, it was going to be really hard to get some of this stuff, but now it's super easy. So you can actually look like a real boss at a very low rank in PvP just by playing these arenas, because you can unlock for yourself Orion gear, which, if you guys don't know from PvE, you know, it's the Ara set, right? It's very high level stuff, and this is like the super rare set you can get from running arenas, which looks pretty cool, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So you can jump in early, and you can get cool looking gear even though you're a low rank, by just actually playing in the arenas rather than playing in Hotjoin. Hotjoin doesn't really offer you any exclusive rewards in terms of skins, but Hotjoin is the fastest way to rank up, which is an absolute crime. What it means, sadly, is that the people who are playing real structured tournament setting play, 5v5s, are actually gaining rank slower than the people that run around mindlessly in Zergs doing their dailies, for example. Right. And it's a real shame. As I mentioned at the start, nobody's rank 80 yet. There are a couple of rank 70s. The way that those people got to rank 70, sadly, it seems to me, I could be wrong and it might be unfair to judge like that, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it is from playing tons and tons and tons of Hotjoins. Because Hotjoins have got loads of players running around, you score loads of kills, so you get lots of rank points for playing on them, right? Just that alone means that you get a lot more points. The fact that if you queue in for actual structured stuff, it takes a while for the tournament to pop, and then it's going to take a while for it to start, like a 2-minute wait period where nobody ever readies up. You will be reimbursed with, like, at the same time as you get a chest for a win, you'll actually also get a little bit of glory and rank points at the same time. But it's not enough. In general, people gain the fastest ranks from doing Hotjoins rather than... And people even like set up servers that exploit it, which just really boils my blood. That it just annoys me that people do that.
Yeah, so, you know, some people who don't know anything of PvP, they just want to, you know, level up to level 80.
They'll just be doing it for achievements or something, and they'll go on a specific map, and they'll just take off all they'll have a rule that everybody takes off all their armor,
wow,
and they just farm each other on the beach on one of the maps, and loads of people do it. It shouldn't annoy me, because it shouldn't impact my enjoyment of the game at all, but it will start irritating me when you get people like reaching rank 30 and stuff, and they don't know anything at all, and rank 30 isn't really a rank, in my opinion, that really holds any weight to it anyway. But, you know, you'll get people get into those kind of levels where you should expect them to know something about PvP and they don't. It's just because they've been farming for titles, you know, which kind of sucks. Titles being one of the last topics we're going to be looking at for rewards with PvP. This is much more simple, but something quite important. You know, achievement points are becoming quite a big thing. You know, I'm coming up to my 10k. I'm really looking forward to that.
That 10k chest? Oh my gosh, yeah. It must be glorious. 30 gold? Oh my god.
30 gold, 400 gems, 10 laurels. Dude. PvP is... the more you play PvP, it tapers off really quickly. It becomes really bad for achievement points. However, if you do become a quite dedicated PvP player, it can be a nice supplement to getting PvP achievements. To getting PvE achievements, basically. What you'll do is you get achievement points and rank rewards just from playing, basically, because you got like a Conqueror title. But there are also specific achievements you can get for playing on each class. So if you play mainly as a thief, then you can get a shadow title track, and you can also get champion shadow for playing in arenas on a thief. The same for ranger, you've got hunter, elementalist is called magus. They've all got cool names, and you can unlock titles too. So because I've won a certain amount of matches on my elementalist, I have a title named champion magus, and because I've played a total number of games just in general, I have a title named ransacker, and the next one will be marauder. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can look at there in terms of achievements, and particularly when you start off, you should get a lot of achievements quite early on. But that's a nice part of the PvP too, that it feels very good when I tick up another rank of Ransacker. I'm like, yes! Oh my god, it's been like a year and I finally got another rank, and it just feels really good.
Alright, so I'm big on armor sets, right? I'm big on skins. I like to look cool in PvP as I rock someone's mic. Alright, I want to have better armor. So now that I know about this, I'm going to be leveling up a whole lot. Now, there's going to be a link in the description that's going to show you like all the tiers and all the ranks and all the armor sets. index pretty much of everything you can get, and
it's really useful, guys. It's the way the ArenaNet did it is it's sort of supposed to be a lot of trial and error, a bit like how they originally set up legendaries or whatever. But check out the link in the description. It will tell you that when you get to this rank 30 glory vendor, it will tell you what is the common armor you get, what is the uncommon armor you get, what is the rare armor you get for light, medium, and heavy, and the same for the weapons too, the weapon skins that unlock for you at that rank. And it will do it for every single rank, and it will also do it for the separate stuff that you get from playing in the arenas. Like,
so now awesome. The wiki page will actually make sense, because I sort of didn't make any sense to me when I was looking at it. I was like, oh yeah, armors. I have no idea what to do with this.
It will now. It's laid out really nicely and really intuitively. So hopefully that kind of excites some people, especially the idea that in PvP you can actually get access to skins that you can't in PvE at all right now. I really like that. And I also like that at the really high ranks, people, because so few people are there at the moment, people just sort of don't know what is available. There are a lot of skins in this game that aren't being listed by the lockers. Like when you reach Phoenix rank, guys, you actually stop getting regular armor and you start getting cultural stuff instead. Can you see how there's these different tabs here for cultural, light, medium, and heavy? So that's really cool, I think. But yeah, that's about it. That's everything for the rewards. I feel like that we should have to cover for today. Obviously, there are massive tournaments as well where you can win thousands upon thousands of pounds, and there's actually a big tournament going on soon. That's sort of slightly separate, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, shall we wrap that one up there then?
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned a lot. I sure did.
Yeah, well, I would hope so. Otherwise, you're not being a very good student. Okay, thanks very much.
Teach me PvP.
Okay.
Next time, guys, we will be in the arenas. Thanks very much for watching. We've also, hopefully, I'm not going to announce it just yet until I've spoken to some people, but we might have some really cool news about the series as well going forward. Thanks very much for watching, and we will catch you next time. Have fun, everybody.